Here we'll do an example with square units and unit conversion. We are asked how many square inches are in a room that is 8 feet by 6 feet. Let's first draw a picture of this room. This room is going to look like a rectangle. It's going to be a little bit longer than it is tall. Since we are 8 feet by 6 feet, we'll let the longer side be 8 feet and the shorter side be 6 feet. Since the question asks for square inches, a good thing to realize is anytime you see the word square in the problem, that means we're going to be looking for area. For a rectangle, the equation for area looks like this. We'll say A for area is equal to the length of the rectangle times the width of the rectangle. We can take care of the area now because we can see that the rectangle is 8 feet long and 6 feet wide. Therefore, we'll say L is 8 and W is 6. In the length position, we'll place the 8, and in the width position, we'll place the 6, and in between them, we'll put a times sign. Now we write the equal sign, and on the left side, we will leave the area. We'll now perform that 8 times 6 in the calculator. When we enter 8 times 6, we get an answer of 48. However, it's not enough to just write the 48. We must write the proper units. Let's recall that the length was 8 feet, and so we'll write feet next to that 8. The same applies to the width. We'll write that 6 feet. If we take feet times more feet, the type of unit we end up is feet squared, or square feet if you wish. This is often abbreviated as SQFT. If you see this in a problem of your own, don't be too surprised. It can be written as the words square feet or as feet with a second power symbol written on it. Now that we have the area, let's check to make sure it's in the right units. We can see that the question asked us for square inches. However, that's a mismatch for what we have now. We have square feet. So anytime you find area, we have to take a pause and verify that it's the units that the question asks for. If you have a mismatch in units, you have to do one more step. Since we have square feet, but need square inches, we're going to have to do a unit conversion with square units. We're going to begin our conversion by writing that we have 48 square feet. We'll multiply this by a fraction. And we will send that feet squared to the bottom of that fraction. Whatever letters we start with must go to the bottom. The unit that we need is square inches, and so we'll place that on the top. Now, ordinarily, we would have 12 inches to 1 foot. Since our feet say 1 next to it, and we have feet on the bottom, we're going to send that 1 to the bottom of this fraction. And then since we have 12 inches, we'll send those 12 inches to the top of that fraction. However, since we have a square unit conversion, it's not enough just to write the square on the inches and the feet. We also have to square the numbers that are next to them. So we're going to write 12 squared and 1 squared for this fraction. And this is only because we're dealing with square units. Anytime you convert a unit with a square, the numbers get squared also. However, we will leave the 48 feet squared alone because that came from a previous step. So our operation will look like this. We'll take 48, multiply by 12 to the second power, multiply by 1 to the second power. To take 12 to the second power, we'll enter 12, and then we'll press this key that says x squared on it. This gives us 144. If we do the same thing to the 1, let's enter 1 and press the x squared key. And you can see that we still have 1. Let's now rewrite the expression. We'll have 48 multiplied by 144 because that was 12 squared, multiplied by 1 because that's 1 squared. Multiplying by 1 will not change our answer, so we don't have to enter that last times 1 if we don't feel like it. But let's go to the calculator one more time and enter 48 times 144. We enter the 48 and press multiply and enter 144. When we press enter, we get 6,912. We must also make sure to write the right units on this number. When we did our conversion, we had feet squared on top and feet squared on bottom. Therefore, those cancel out, and our answer will be in square inches. This matches the units that we were asked for in the question. Therefore, our answer is 6,912 square inches.